There is no formula for success. There are templates, guidelines, some general rules, but no guarantee that what worked for one toy line is going to work for yours. Learning from other success is a great place to start. Copying them is even better. Ultimately, all you can do is make a plan, hope for the best, and expect the unexpected. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is what you get when you smoosh Tron and Transformers together. This is Computer Warriors.
Evil viruses are attacking the world's computers, and the computer warriors have been generated to stop them. A soccer trophy changes into an evil techno tank, forcing the computer warriors down. Hiding in a Pepsi can, the computer warriors fight back and deliver a direct hit. But the viruses keep coming, so the computer warriors convert a clock into a digital laser blaster and wipe out the virus air attack. Yeah! Computer Warriors. Expect the unexpected. Each sold separately. Computer and pencil sharpener available fall 1990. Only from Mattel.
By 1989, the toy world had already been dealt a healthy share of form-changing, mode-switching, two-in-one, transforming, go-botting figure lines. There were enough, in fact, to establish a whole scale of success or failure. Nothing was as big as Transformers. Several hung out at the bottom with converters, charming though they may be, and somewhere in the middle, depending on who you ask, was your Mask and your Go-Bots. Despite a market flush with similar product, in 1990, Mattel threw their hat into the ring with a line that picked up on several of the themes that made Transformers one of the biggest brands on Earth. Computer Warriors was built around the ability to change normal everyday objects into spaceships, jets, tanks, battle stations, and one gigantic base. But it wasn't just the idea of changing the toys from one thing to another that Mattel was tapping into. It was a theme that Transformers themselves had moved away from. It was the stuff in disguise factor. The everyday household objects existing in our world at actual size changing into tiny combatants and their weapons of war. Transformers had Soundwave as a cassette player, Perceptor as a microscope, Megatron as a gun. This was a theme Mattel saw some additional potential in, and if Hasbro wasn't using it, might as well take advantage. Computer Warriors rolled out all the exciting stuff that Transformers just skipped right over. A fully licensed Pepsi can that can turn into a hoverjet, a flashlight that turns into a rocket, a calculator that turns into a tank, a soccer ball that turns into a radar station, the eponymous computer that turns into a base, and hold on to your butts, a book that turns into an evil base. The takeaway here is never trust books. Mattel went to work on an animated series to help promote the line. The pilot episode introduced the core conflict of the series and all the main characters. There's an accident at a facility that houses a secret government computer with an artificial intelligence program called Parallax. This results in some computer viruses becoming self-aware as living sentient beings. Megahertz, the leader of the viruses, is supported by fellow viruses Minus, Null, and Index. That's Index with 2 X's. The viruses are pursued by 4 programs created by Parallax to try to clean up the mess created by the accident. The Computer Warriors, Scanner, Grid, and Micron are led by ROM. That's ROM with 2 M's. And while we're at it, Micron is with 2 N's, Grid is with 2 D's, and Scanner is spelled S-K-A-N-N-A-R. Just spell it like it sounds. The pilot episode was produced by Mattel Toys and Kroyer Films, written by Bill Kroyer and Carl Macek, produced by Carl Macek, and directed by Bill Kroyer. If you get a Tron meets Transformers vibe off of this thing, trust your instincts. It's not that far off. In fact, get legal on the phone. I've got some questions. The director and one of the writers of the pilot, Bill Kroyer, founded Kroyer Films in 1986 after working on the Tron movie for Disney back in 1982. He helped produce the storyboards and computer image choreography. Wireframe computer-generated imagery is his aesthetic. Bill founded Kroyer Animation specifically to develop and produce animation that merged CG with traditional hand-drawn animation. He even won an Academy Award for his short Technological Terror in 1988, then went on to do the opening titles for Christmas Vacation in 1989 and the vehicle animation for the Jetsons movie in 1990. The other writer and producer, Carl Macek, is, depending on who you ask, either one of the most important people in the world of modern animation, responsible for helping introduce more mature, dramatic Japanese animated series to America, or the Michael Bay of the mid-'80s destroying childhoods as they happen. The very short version of the Carl Macek story is that he took 3 animated series from Japan and rewrote their stories to make them more marketable in the United States. 3 popular animated series in Japan became 1 popular animated series in America called Robotech. It is no surprise to see the two of them working together on a project like Computer Warriors, given their resumes. The mix of animation styles within the Computer Warriors pilot was a unique aesthetic that made Computer Warriors visually distinct from all the other toy-supporting cartoons on the market and perfectly suited to the toy line's narrative. The Computer Warriors have the ability to move back and forth from the bit stream, or the digital world inside the computers, into our world, reformatting themselves and the objects they encounter as needed to suit the battle against the viruses, who, by the way, can do all of that as well. It's a combination of parts of Tron with parts of Transformers. It's Transformers. Despite the talent behind the production of the cartoon, the lack of a second or any other episode speaks to Mattel's degree of support for the production, or lack thereof. Yes, develop the toy line. Yes, commission the pilot. Kinda shaky after that, having some doubts. The New Adventures of He-Man in Space cartoon and toy line isn't doing so great. Just cut Computer Warriors and move on. We just picked up the license for a cartoon called The Simpsons. Hopefully that's going to be big. Computer Warriors lasted just 1 year, one episode of a cartoon that would be released direct to video, and even though the line was stocked with 13 different 2-inch figures, multiple vehicles in different size classes, and the computer that changed into a base, it was not supported by anything else. And without the kind of widespread exposure that drove the more successful lines of the 80s and 90s, without spreading awareness of your brand, most people who would have been interested wouldn't find out about it until 30 years too late on an internet TV show that declares them an oddity. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you very much to those of you who already are. Check out our new merchandise available right below this video. If you hit the comments, you've gone too far. If you're in the position to help the channel grow, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/toygalaxy. Share this video and let us know in the comments down below what totally mundane item you'd be shocked to have change into a weapon of tiny combat in front of you. I'm going to say anything that isn't already a Transformer. I already know those things change.
Tissues.
Tissues.
Cut.